Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to USUK's the weekly bizarre Podstars. The second week we're doing this. Thank you very much for joining us. And today we got USUK talent coming from me from all angles. So the USUKer joining me this week, all the way from California, is Mr. David Rabe. Hey, how's it going,
Hey
man?
guys,
Thank you.
I thought you were going to say my name right this time because it's a different podcast, kind of.
What we can do, David Rabe, Rabe, baby,
There it is.
baby.
There you go.
Hey
Raby
man, we've
baby.
known each other. How many shows have we done together where you've gone, Whiteley, you always get my fucking name wrong?
That's at least like 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, so you and TS are going to kind of double team this whenever you can fit it into your schedule, right?
Yes, sir. I will like kind of fill in for him, and I mean I'm not doing anything right now, so.
I don't know what's happened with your microphone at the moment. It sounds like you're in gale force winds.
Oh shit. Okay, that must be my air conditioning.
Goddamn Californians! You're like, it's too hot here, where we're all freezing to death. You know?
It is actually. It's really hot and windy right now. I don't know why.
Yeah. Okay. I'll mute you while you sort that out, and I'm going to invite our guest. Thank you very much. And so joining us today, I hope I pronounced her name right, is Moxie. Thank you so much for joining us, Moxie.
Oh, glad to be here. That was the easy part. I want to hear you try the last name.
Moxie Okay, let me try this. Okay, so it's Moxie Labouche.
Labouche, exactly right. I knew you had it.
Moxie Labouche.
Mm-hmm.
Moxie Labouche. I like that.
Hello.
It's classy.
Yeah.
Hello.
It was my burlesque name, and I just carried it over into podcasting and voice work and everything.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice. We've had this long argument with me and my surname, David. That noise is terrible. I don't know.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Are you using a freestanding mic, or do you have something on that cord?
It's his headphones that he's just zipped up.
I have my headphones. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like an Apple one where they have the mic on it, and I'm like, that's definitely beard noise.
Usually, this is how David joins us every week. It usually sounds fine. But I guess we're having issues today. But it's fine, absolutely fine. Today, we've got a show of two halves. We have, of course, the Weekly Bizarre section of our show, where we're going to bring to you some bizarre news stories we've been finding through the week. And then the other half, we're going to test Moxie's skills behind the microphone with the Gauntlet. And then we're going to talk about her show and what she does, which is going to be great. So make sure, like as always, with the Weekly Bizarre, you chime in with your comments and your suggestions, and we'll get to you during the show. I'd like to start off this particular show with a story of the week. Okay, so I've been looking at stories throughout the week. Now I've got to explain to you that I'm usually really good at finding stories. I've been doing this for a long time now, and I don't know what it is with the world. It seems to have taken a turn for the more sinister. There's been a lot of murder and shit this week. What the hell's going on? I'm trying to find light-hearted, fun stories that we normally talk about on the Weekly Bizarre. And selfishly, people have been going around murdering people. So, and presidents getting impeached and shit. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about all that.
We're not going to talk about that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
David, that sounds awful. That microphone. I don't know what you've done to it.
Awful? I didn't do it. I turned off the air conditioning.
It's not. It's more of a
Okay, so it is
brushing noise.
Is that
Yeah,
better?
there we go. Yeah, there we go. That's better.
Cool. I want to go turn on my air conditioning because I'm fucking hot.
Fuck's sake. So anyway, I've been looking at different.
This much in the show.
We're getting our money's worth from you today, David.
Really seeing how the sausage is made.
I mean, look at Moxie sat there in a soundproof room. I'm in my bedroom.
That's a good setup. I'm in the corner of my bedroom.
These are mattresses. Don't be that impressed.
Still, you sound fantastic.
Thank you.
Anyway, so the story of the week this week is I don't think I've had to mute you for a second. I don't think you understand how loud that's that. It's like you're inside a packet of crisps. Like, hold on, let me try it again. Let me unmute you. There we go. Now
Yeah,
sit
as long
still.
as you don't move.
You're okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna unzip slightly, and then That should be okay. Is that better?
It's like diffusing a bomb. Great. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, you sound great.
Okay.
He's going for the slow tease. Like, I'm going to unzip slowly. I can teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, so we're gonna get onto that absolutely in a second. Right, okay, here's my story of the week. I'm going to share the screen, and this is the most simple. It's more of a gesture to how bad things are at the moment. So here we go. My story of the week is, I did practice this with David. I got it right the first time, and here we go. Simple. There we go. I don't usually do that kind of humor. There's a plumber breaking wind down 10-foot worth of pipe. I just couldn't seem to find any stories that were fun, but you guys did.
For that long. And
Well,
you took time to
doing
set
it
the camera,
again.
then walked all the way over there. I just let it out, man. I'm like,
that microphone is really. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's. Have you got another set of headphones?
no, I'm just gonna unplug it, dude. If it's,
Yeah, unplug
can
it.
you hear me? Yeah, I unplugged it.
Hello. Okay, we'll just have
Can
to
you hear me?
manage like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear
Now it's good.
Whatever.
you. We've been working with David for the last year. We've never had issues like that. So
It's okay.
Yeah.
But
okay.
anyway, back to the flatulist.
Yes. Back to the flatulence. What's going on, guys? Why is the world suddenly doom and gloom? And I know we're going through a pandemic. I know there's a lot of bad shit going on. But what we tend to usually do is find some fun shit to disguise all that sort of stuff. So what do you reckon? What's going on lately, David?
Well, it's just one thing piled up on top of the
Yeah,
other.
it's tough because like it's bad to worse. You know, it just gets gradually getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Tough.
I mean, I can't really speak spoilers. I was like, oh, wicked. WandaVision's just been released. This is going to be fun. No.
Is it terrible?
It's. I don't want to say any spoilers, but yeah, it's not. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted at all. Hopefully, it gets better. I'm not the most cynical kind of person on the planet, but yeah, hopefully it gets better. But you guys have brought some great stories for us to talk about, and I have too. Okay, so I want to talk about a story, Moxie, that you suggested. That we did speak about this on Wednesday, but I actually want to bring it up again and talk about it because I feel like it opens up a discussion that I'd like to have with two Americans, and that is this story here about the Netherlands confiscating a sandwich from British drivers due to Brexit.
Yeah, because they're on the ferry with their packed lunches, and that counts as importing meat or dairy products into the country. So
But that's their own lunch. So they're bullies. They're stealing someone else's lunch.
I'm pretty sure the customs agents aren't eating it. They're crossing an international border, and there are laws when you cross an international border.
I've crossed international borders all the time.
Well,
Broken so many
your
laws.
mileage may vary. It varies. Some places you can take whatever you want. Some places you can't take certain foods or certain fruits or vegetables or certain live plants. It's situational.
So wait, he was a truck driver, right? So they had to be inspected regardless. And like, what's this? A sandwich?
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so we did cover this story last week, okay, and we talked about how the spiteful comments that were made. Is I need to find. Have we still got the screenshot? I don't think we do. But like, it was more of a case they were kind of like poking this guy with a stick. They're kind of like, oh, you know, because the whole Brexit thing. There's probably a lot of Europe that feels that way about what's going on. And I would love to talk to you guys. Sort of like, what do you think about Brexit? You know, I don't think I've spoken to an American yet about what they actually think about Brexit and what do you think is going on. So, Moxie, as our guest, I'll go to you first. I mean, what are you aware of with what's going on with Brexit and what do you think about it? I don't want to get political, obviously, but it's just nice to hear what other people think. Yeah.
Well, our household watches an above average amount of British television. Now, it's all on YouTube, granted, and it's mostly panel shows. Because y'all just love panel shows. My goodness.
We're the best at it. We are the best at it.
Yeah, Cats Does Countdown, QI. QI is just the best show that was ever made. You know,
One of
and
my favorites of
Taskmaster.
all stars was Nevermind the Buzzcocks. I love that so much. It was just the best.
That's a classic. So I am familiar with it. I get my news through satire, regardless of which country it's in. I think it's a gross miscalculation that they were able to pull off by doing the same things that worked here 4 years ago and have worked everywhere throughout history, which is just make people with problems think those problems were caused by someone else.
Yes. And it's very much kind of like what Trump. Sorry to mention his name again.
We refer to him exclusively by the anagram Lord Dampnut.
No, damn.
It's like Voldemort. We don't say his name. It's Lord Dampnut.
When you guys you took the working class people and they kind of put a lot on them they did the same with a lot of the. Okay, I got to be careful what I say here because there's a lot of British people working, but there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, we're doing it because of the immigrants, aren't we? Like we don't want people coming over to the UK. Brexit will solve that, and they've done Brexit, and it's done is kind of we've actually built a metaphorical wall around the country.
People are like, immigrants are taking our jobs. If someone who has only been in the country for a week and doesn't speak the language and has no paperwork can walk in and take your job, you're shit at your job.
Yeah. Either that or
and the problem is with your boss for hiring the illegal alien that he knows he doesn't have to pay minimum wage. He's the problem, not the immigrant.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up too, I think. Because here, for like the US, for example, you have a lot of, Mexican immigrants coming in here and they want to work. They need to work to feed their families and they take whatever job they can. So these people that are complaining like, oh, they're taking our jobs. I'm like, you didn't want that job in the first fucking place. So why are you complaining?
Yeah. It's a strange situation, something we're all going to have to get used to regardless because there was a Democratic vote. So, I mean, I think it's getting a bit petty now, though. Not being able to take your ham sandwich is your packed lunch. This driver's coming back anyway. Like, he's driving to do his job. He'll probably be back in like 8 hours because he's dropped off the haul. He's on his way back home. That's his packed lunch. Don't be petty. Like, it's just a silly situation. But yeah, it's a strange one. We'll see. But look, moving on. I'm gonna pick one of David's stories. And what's this one here about the pigeon? Because it says here the news story reads: fake US leg band gets pigeon a reprieve in Australia. What's this story you brought to us, David?
So I guess I've had I'm like barely learning about carrier pigeons because it's like a while ago I couldn't sleep at night, so I started looking up like how do carrier pigeons work, and I've kind of had like a thing for pigeons ever since. Like, and I found that story. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? I guess there was a pigeon that was from the U.S. I guess from Oregon, and it flew 8,000 miles to Australia. They're discussing whether or not to kill it because they're like, wait a minute, it's from the U.S. Oh, we can't have any, animals like from another country coming into our country.
Can't get fucking ham sandwiches in Holland. Never mind.
No, yeah, I mean,
it's a live pigeon. Like, yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck? So then the U.S. like confirmed, like, oh, that's the blue band that's attached to its leg. I don't know. That's not one of our bands. It's a fake blue band. So they're like, okay, well, what do we do? Are we going to kill it? Are they going to set it free or give it back to who or whatever? I don't know. But it was weird because it landed in some guy's backyard. And like, does he just bird watch naturally? Like, wait a minute. Oh, I don't know that bird. Oh, I never seen one of those.
It's a fun story. I'll tell you what this is. It's a Disney story in the making. That's what this is.
A pigeon that flew from America. They always wanted to go to Australia. Yeah.
It's definitely got a whiff of Pixar coming off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Tom Holland will do the voiceover for the pigeon.
Life of Pi, but it's pigeon. Just like, it's here somewhere. I've been around here a few times. I'm sure I saw something. Yeah.
Pigeons can travel very fucking far. A lot of people don't know that. I was like, I didn't know that they used pigeons to communicate back and forth to like other regions of the empire to find out who won the Olympics, like back in fucking whatever AD, some shit. I was like, so that's how Twitter got started. Huh?
Oh yeah, and they were critically important in World War I as well.
Yeah,
There was a pigeon named Cher Ami who managed to save an American unit from friendly fire. They were being shelled by their own artillery, who didn't know they were there. And I think the message was, "For the love of God, stop. We're on the coordinates." And the bird lost an eye and a leg and nearly died, but it got the message over there and saved the whole group. And it was like the first animal to be awarded the Dickin Medal.
Didn't it ride back on the ship with General Pershing as like here's a reward, your war days are over, or some shit like that?
Well, he deserved it, or she.
Yeah. Jeremy, yeah, I love that story.
Yeah. Yeah, but everybody likes those kind of legends, don't they? There once was a pigeon. The stories you share around the campfire. And I mean, let's have a look at the story. Where's my cursor? I've got this new thing, by the way, now, because I've got the two screens. I always lose my cursor.
That's why I can't stand multi-screen.
Yeah.
I never find the damn mouse.
I kind of have to because otherwise I'll have too much open on my screen. I'll be like, what the fuck? I struggle anyway. You know what I mean? But anyway, it says here that Canberra, Australia, a pigeon that Australia declared a biosecurity risk has received a reprieve after a US bird organization declared its identifying leg band was fake. The band suggested that the bird found in a Melbourne backyard on 26th of December was a racing pigeon that had left the United States of Oregon 13,000 kilometers or 8,000 miles away 2 months earlier. On that basis, Australian authorities on Thursday said they considered the bird a disease risk and planned to kill it. But Dion Roberts, sports development manager for the Oklahoma-based Wing American Racing Pigeon, said on Friday the band was fake.
So is the person who found it perpetrating a hoax or something?
I think they were just like, yeah, it's fake. They've looked through the terms and conditions of how to save this thing, and they've gone, if you declare that it's fake, they have to believe you without any evidence. Okay, it's fake, and they don't have to kill the pigeon.
Like, where are you from? Who are you? Who sent you? It's just.
Hey, there were plans for pigeon guided missiles. There was Operation Acoustic Kitty, which was where they surgically implanted a radio transmitter in a cat, with the plans that it would spy on the Russian embassy, because cats are really reliable when you want them to do things. And
the cats are just assholes.
I know. I have 7 of them. Trust me, I know. It's like I live in a furry, bitchy koi pond. And they got this cat all ready with literally implanted a radio in its ear and had transmitter in its tail. Wow. Just the goofiest Boris and Natasha stuff you can think of, but it was the Americans doing it. And they let the cat out of the black windowless van, and it immediately got hit by a car.
Wow.
Cost millions of dollars in development.
Do you know what? It never occurred to me about the plot of Batman Returns. Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Great role, by the way. Great casting. Yeah. But like his plot of tying or taping rockets to penguins is exactly like a plot you'd see in Always Sunny, which he does appear in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They always have these terrible plots that never work out.
It's like, I got a plan. I got these pigeons and we'll put bombs on them.
It's sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads.
Exactly, right? But it's not actually that far-fetched, because pigeons were fucked about with so much during the war. They were just like, how can we use these things? Because it's free transport. You don't have to fuel them up, and if you can get a message from A to B or launch codes.
Here's your reward. It's food and your currency. Take it.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, this pigeon's been saved. Praise the Lord. And so, David, I didn't realize you were such a big fan of wildlife and stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, I love animals, of course. Yeah. I certainly don't think they belong in zoos or aquariums, like I said before. But the pigeon thing is odd to me, because I didn't know pigeon racing was a thing, and I don't know why there's a resurgence of it. I'm like, you guys are racing pigeons? This seems pretty cool.
Look up roller pigeon. Because
is that roller derby for pigeons?
Oh my God, how awesome would that be? little skates, bashing
But
into each other. No, no, no.
they just get all beat
It
up.
is a pigeon that, rather than flying like a normal pigeon, does back somersaults on the ground. Or front somersaults. I don't know, but it rolls on the ground. They're called a roller pigeon. I'll wait while you Google it.
I'm looking for it now.
Are they sure that's a sport and not like a disease that the pigeon has? They're like,
Well, like a lot of things that humanity bred into animals, it probably started as a bad thing. Like, I love a corgi. I'm nuts for corgi butts. Except they are dwarves that have been bred to have inescapable dwarfism. And that's why when you cross a corgi with anything, it always has little stubby corgi legs, because you've just deliberately bred a dwarf. And it took all the fun out of corgis for me when I found that out.
my friend has a corgi.
No, I love them. I love them, and I still want one, but it's just like, oh, that was irresponsible of us.
Yeah, I feel bad. I'm like, oh, you're so adorable, and I'm so sorry that some fucking asshole human years ago just decided, hey, do this.
What if we can make them all come out like this?
I am trying to find a roller pigeon video, but there's lots of them, by the way. Lots of love out there for pigeons. But I'm not very successful in finding one that's very short and to the point, in all honesty.
That can be problematic.
Yeah,
That's
very.
I'll look it up though, because that's interesting to me. I mean, I prefer like ravens or crows, but pigeons are still definitely held up there in regards to like they can get the message across.
Absolutely. But you've brought a nature story as well, Moxie. I'll go into yours, and I'll go into a couple of my stories. I've got one story here that I want to share with you guys, and my Science with Alex story. But this, yeah, it's a big one. It's nice. It's good. This is your story here, Moxie, which is from Explore Jefferson, and it says, "Say what? A ring-tailed cat removed from Colorado home's boiler room."
Yeah. Now the item is not really the story so much as this news item, because okay, animal control removed a wild animal from somebody's basement. That happens every day.
Yeah.
This is a native North American species I have never heard of. And that to me is news.
You have 7 cats.
Holy shit. So if you wanted to maybe show people the Google Images page.
Yes.
And I'd like to hear from anyone in the crowd about my age. I'm 41. How we've been allowed to live on the planet this long and no one told us these animals exist. They're a kind of cousin species to the raccoon. I feel
They
cheated.
are so adorable.
I feel cheated that the universe had these and didn't share them with me. I've been to Colorado. One
These
of
are
these could run across the highway, I would have been satisfied.
Look at this dude.
So the big news here is Moxie learned a thing.
Yes. That went nowhere. Yeah,
I want
they're
one.
cool. They look like from Madagascar. Yeah, there you go.
Ring-tailed lemurs, yeah.
Ring-tailed lemurs.
Yeah, they're lemurs.
Yeah.
You think those cats get high off of
Science doesn't
centipedes?
yet know if the North American ring-tailed cat likes to move it.
Is it lemurs that get high off of centipedes or millipedes? They just get them and they bat them around their bodies and they You guys ever seen that?
I'm not familiar with it. It sounds like a Russian bathhouse, which is maybe quite serious in the comparison.
They get like an insect. I think it's like a millipede or a centipede that releases a toxin, but it only gets them high, so they freak out and rubbing it all over their bodies and their fur and shit.
Yeah, I don't know who does it, but it wouldn't surprise me because dolphins chew on pufferfish to get high.
Yeah.
And here are their other names. They're the ring-tailed cat, the miner's cat, or the basilisk, which is just an awesome name.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Basilisk.
Release the basilisk.
And then 100 of them just swarming over to me.
Oh no, not the basilisk! They've got a basilisk, Jeshri. What's a basilisk? I don't know. Could you imagine? This is this cat sat at the gate like. Oh, I love that. That's great. I've got terrible news for you guys. I'm pretty sure the UK is about to be invaded.
By basilisk.
Yeah, by the basilisk, and that's because That's because of this story here on Twitter, which just says we have some really unhappy news to share. Our much-loved raven Melina has not been seen at the tower for several weeks, and her continued absence indicates to us that she may have sadly passed away. Now, do you guys know the legend of the raven at the tower?
That if they leave the tower, the British Empire will crumble. So I think that's why some of them were stuffed and nailed to their perches.
I think it's something like there's always got to be at least six ravens on the grounds of Tower London. Otherwise, the Tower of London. Otherwise, we're going to be invaded. It's like
the tower master was on the Raven Master of the Tower was on QI the other week.
Yeah, he's great. He is. He's been on loads of documentaries and things. I love stuff like that, though. There's some really great, like sort of spooky, horrible, interesting stories about the Tower of London and all the shit that went on there. But yeah, we've got a great theme going on here today, talking about the Tower of London. There's another story here from the same site I read from earlier, UPI, and it says here, go away, ad. The Tower of London said that one of its ravens is feared dead, bringing it closer to a legend that would indicate the fall of the kingdom. In a Twitter post, the Tower of London said that the raven named Melina, known as the Queen of the Tower Ravens, has not been seen at there for several weeks. Her continued absence indicates to us that she may have sadly passed away, said the tower said. Though it isn't unusual for our ravens to roam outside the walls, free-spirited Melina has previously always returned to the tower and to the Raven Master and his team, with whom she shared a wonderful close bond. So, yeah. The world is nigh. The end is nigh. Like, there's so much shit going on. Like, I'm finding stories about nothing.
No, the ravens are just tied to Great Britain's longevity, not ours. We're just gonna fuck that up on our own.
Yeah, but this is USUK. Without UK, you just be us. Us.
No, we're just us. The last of us.
Yeah, exactly. We're the last of us. That's what it's coming down to.
Hopefully.
That's quite sinister, isn't it? Without the UK, it's just us.
Well, I don't think you can be expressing worry over the state of the empire in an episode that began with Brexit. You can't start about talking about the country isolating itself and then mourning the fact that it's no longer going to control a third of the globe.
Yeah,
but this is the thing, though, isn't it? Right? Because little things like that can mean the end of the world for someone, regardless of whether it's an invasion of the UK or whether it's like Melina, the queen of the ravens, like, or your ham sandwich, your fucking lunch, your packed lunch that's been taken away from customs, like that's gonna set you up. Imagine going like a whole 12-hour shift without having your dinner. You know what I mean? That's the end of the world to you. All these things, or the opportunity of being able to stroke a ring-tailed cat in America and not even knowing they existed. I don't know. Or what about starting a live podcast and not being able to use your microphone because it's making horrible noises, and having Alex boom down your ear. Shut the fuck up, David! You know what I mean?
Should I just plug it in again? Try it again?
I don't know that's...
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea, David. Okay, so let's get rid of the sandwich stuff. I'm deleting things as I go along. Okay, David, you've got one more story to go before we go into Science with Alex. And this one, I can't even believe you got... How... this is the story. Read that out for me, David.
A Stalin-themed cafe in Moscow closes after public outcry. Shocker.
Yeah. A Stalin-themed cafe
in
Moscow. Yeah.
Who the fuck thought of that idea?
Yeah, it's okay. So if you're not aware, Stalin was a genocidal maniac from Russia. And let's read the story. It's from RNZ, which is I think a New Zealand radio station site. And it says a cafe in Moscow was forced to close a day after it opened following an outcry over its provocative Joseph Stalin-themed branding, the shop's owner said.
I was not expecting it to be in Russia. I was expecting it to be anywhere but Russia, because
Right?
they do know. They know. They're the only people you can trust to know Stalin was bad news bears. Now, if it had been sexy young Stalin, there's that one picture that makes its rounds on the internet on the regular basis. They might have gotten away with it.
Yeah, this is bad. I mean, this is the equivalent. And I'm sorry, Facebook. I'm sorry, Twitch. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm going to use his name, but this is like opening a fucking Hitler cafe right in the middle of Berlin.
You know what?
It's the same.
You know why it would close down? Because people would complain. They would give it 1 star and it would complain about the food being burned.
But this is terrible, right? But I mean, you can't take something like genocide and make satire out of it. You can't
Especially
make it look cool.
food. I don't want to think about genocide when I'm eating. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the bigger issue. Because I think you just like George Carlin said, you can make a joke out of anything. It's all about how you construct the joke. But I don't want to be reminded of pogroms and gulags and people dying in Siberia. I just want to have a kebab. I don't need all this extra pressure.
Just want to have a
Yeah, I
kebab.
was thinking about that. Like, what do you want? What do you order? I want to order the gulag. What about you?
Oh my God, were the dishes themed? Were the menu items themed?
Some of the items, yeah, they were themed. They were named after Soviet leaders.
Yeah, we'll delve into the story. It says the Stalin donor shop featured a portrait of the controversial communist leader above its front door. Inside, a man dressed in a Stalin-era security service uniform served customers meat wraps named after Soviet leaders. We fully opened the day after yesterday and served around 200 customers. Shop owner Stanislav Voltman said that was all right. That wasn't too bad. All right, I'll hear it back.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. There are no legal reasons to close shop, he added, but said that police had forced him to remove the Stalin sign. Then colossal pressure from local authorities forced him to shut completely. The branding was hotly debated on social media, with some comments condemning its distasteful. As distasteful, should I say. Stalin's rule was marked by mass repression, labor camps and famine. Nearly 700,000 people were executed during the Great Terror of 1936 to 1938, according to the conservative official estimates. There you go, guys. If you didn't know who Stalin is, you do now. And that's why you should definitely not... Yeah.
You've got to wonder, did this guy finance the start of the restaurant himself? Because that's an expensive proposition. And if he didn't, that means he wrote this idea down and showed it to someone else. And that person gave him money.
They're like, you know what? Take all the rubles you need.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good experiment to be like, let's just see. Give this guy a bit of money and let's just see what happens, you know.
What's
Just like,
funny
this is
about
going to be hilarious. Just let me write the check. That's going to be funny.
if I had that kind of fuck around money. Like, yeah,
I mean, as far as experiments go, it's not a bad one, is it? Just to temper the water a little bit, just to see what people think, because, you know, we as normal human beings will be like, no, that's distasteful. But there's some people out there that might be like, yes, Stalin, great man, yes. I mean, there's some kids.
Just because there are people out there that think that doesn't mean thinking that is right. Doesn't mean thinking
absolutely.
that's okay.
I mean, there is.
I think is it Thailand? I have significant memory issues from lightning strike 11 years ago. But in one area in Southeast Asia, they practically fetishize the Third Reich. Like, not only is it like acceptable, it's kind of cool, and they'll cosplay it. And like, did you guys get an incomplete copy of the history book? Did you get up to like 1939 and it just the rest of the pages were missing?
Jesus. What?
It's the Holocaust deniers and the people that don't even know it happened. Like, I don't know what's going on with schools when they don't talk about World War II and the Holocaust. Like, you know,
What's weird is like some people wear the shirt that says like 6 million wasn't enough. I'm like, so you do accept that the Holocaust did happen? Like, I don't.
Yeah, there'll also be Holocaust deniers wearing those. And it's not that the history books don't say it. That's the primary thing anyone knows about World War II is the 6 million Jewish people who were killed. But even after reading it, people are still say it doesn't happen.
Yeah, 11 million total were murdered during the Holocaust.
And it began with the disabled.
Yeah, the
Long
disabled.
before they started camps, They were
Hitler murdered his own
euthanized
cousin,
for the
didn't he?
disabled. They were unproductive eater, I think was the term, meaning because they coming out of World War I, Germany had a real hard time, and they're like, well, we don't want to have to feed a bunch of people who can't contribute back to society. So the first people they targeted were the disabled, the in any way mentally
Mentally handicapped.
enfeebled, just
Yeah.
anybody who's like, that's not good stock in general.
Yeah.
I think Hitler's cousin was one of the ones. She was mentally disabled, and he's like, "Yeah, get her out."
Well, he didn't have a great relationship with his family. He had nephews by a half brother who were the last Hitlers, and they all agreed, none of us can have children, and none of them did. They're like, there cannot be any relatives of Adolf Hitler.
Wow.
And they all agreed, and they all stuck to it, and none of them have produced children. And
Make sure
his
you-
and his he had another nephew who was actually in the U.S. Navy who like left Britain. He lived in England, left Britain to come to America to join the U.S. Navy to fight Hitler.
Wow.
So, yeah, did not close with his family.
That's family
I
feud
did
for you.
not
That's
know
a
that.
family feud. Right. Okay.
But
We've got. I'd love to talk about this. By the way,
I do.
listeners
I'm
of
all over
of
tube stuff.
USUK,
Yeah.
I've got an obsession with stuff like this. So, I don't get me
You're
started.
telling me, dude.
Right, we're going to move into our final.
U.S. World War II shovel.
Nice. Okay. Right. Final news story of the night is our science with Alex.
Grab your thinking caps. It's time for the most popular radio segment on the face of the planet. Welcome to Science with Alex. Hit it. He loves China. He's not a racist. He likes turtles. Only on the USUK Weekly Bazaar.
I
Oh,
like.
sorry, guys.
a good theme tune.
I keep going. What else do you like? What else don't you like?
Thank you very much, Andy Imhoff, for that beautiful
I see you like
segue.
Kinda.
It's great.
Sorry.
All right, okay. This story is this is the part of the show where I put on the glasses, the lab coat, and I'd look at a story that I'm going to sort of dissect and tell you exactly what's going to happen with this story. Okay, I'm here to explain it for you. There's a bit of irony in this segment because I'm dumb as fuck. Right? Okay, so here we go. It says here that after you die, Microsoft wants to resurrect you as a chat bot. Let that sink in for a second. Yeah, so you will come back as an app, basically, that you can chat to.
You'll come back as Johnny Silverhand.
Or that episode of Black Mirror, where they have the texty app. You never seen Black Mirror, have you?
I did. I saw one episode. It was the episode where that guy he goes to that thing and they put that thin metal thing on his head and he thinks he's going on like in some sort of experiment, but the whole time he's never left that office or whatever.
I think you're thinking
Yeah.
of Total Recall.
No, there is an episode like that, yeah.
I know, I'm being facetious.
It's a bit like...
for me, I've done like LSD before. So when I was high on acid, I was so worried that like if I sat down and just thought of things and imagined things, that they would not have happened. And once I come down from the trip, I was just going to be sitting on that same couch, just not doing anything. So it paranoid me, and I kept walking around, and I was writing things down in a little journal and like kind of drawing pictures and shit. And that's always been a fear of mine. It's like repeating the same thing, or come to find out you've just stayed in the same spot.
I think there's a lot of... obviously, this thing is going to be a chat bot. So there's no consciousness. It's just simply AI.
It's not you coming back.
No,
It's
yeah.
just an attempt to replicate an aspect of you.
Yeah.
I don't trust corporations. They'll probably fucking somehow.
They'll be like, oh, yeah.
Because all the other chatbot experiments have gone really well.
Yeah.
Did you know back in the 90s, all I used to drink was Dr. Pepper? Make sure you buy Dr. Pepper. I can just imagine it being What I think is spooky though is how close Black Mirror have been to getting things right, because it's strange.
It's one
But
reason
hey,
I don't watch it. They're just too good at what they do. I watched
amazing.
one and I'm like, I'm out.
Charlie Brooker
Yeah,
is fantastic.
See, I watched one and I was like, can't do it. Nope.
Well,
not gonna
it's
happen.
so good I can't watch it.
That one
I would
episode really
definitely.
fucked me up.
I would recommend it to anybody. It's perfect storytelling. Right, let's blast through this story because we've got like 5 minutes before we've got to get onto the gauntlet. Okay, so excuse me. It says no one knows where we're gonna go when we die. Microsoft might have some ideas.
To the cloud.
Yeah. Last month, the US Patent and Trademark Office granted a patent to Microsoft that outlines the process to create a conversational chatbot of a specific person using their social data. In an eerie twist, the patent says the chatbot could potentially be inspired by friends or family members who are deceased, which is almost a direct plot of the popular episode of Netflix's Black Mirror. In the episode, Be Right Back, a woman named Martha is upset when her partner Ash dies in a car accident on the day that they were supposed to move in with each other. It turns out one of Martha's friends has signed her up for a service that will let her communicate with Ash through through text messages. Of course, it isn't real. It isn't really Ash, but a sort of AI-based version of him. Suffice to say, things get weird. Now, this is the point, okay? The point is, doesn't matter how good technology gets. When someone dies, this is going to make me seem unpopular to some people. You have to let go a little bit. You got to move on, all right? Because you can hold connections with people, you know, spiritually, of course. That's really important. But you got to get on with shit. You can't be like held in that kind of in betweeny of I'm not quite dealt with this properly yet. Oh, it doesn't matter. I can text him. Do you know what I mean? It kind of stops you from getting to that point of I've dealt with this properly.
Grief
Closure.
isn't a binary, and it's not necessarily a straight descending line at 45 degrees where like today I was sad and tomorrow I'm going to be half as sad and so on. And sometimes you'll have spikes of the grief. You'll hear something or smell something that reminds you of the person.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we just want to talk to the people we've lost. And you might do that standing at a grave. You might just do it looking up into the sky. And it's actually not uncommon for people to text the phone numbers of people they've lost. To just be like, you know, I graduated today. I wish you could have been there. Because I've seen screenshots online where somebody, when the phone number gets recycled, now someone has this phone number. And usually the person will be like, you know, question mark. And they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, this is my dad's phone. And I just text him when I'm sad. And the person will be like, you text whenever you need to. I don't think this is a great thing, necessarily a great product to do, but just because they apply for a patent doesn't mean it's something that actually works. Patents something doesn't have to work for you to get a patent on it, or that it's something that they're going to actually put into effect. But the unique aspects of the software might be something that they want to use later. So they've got to be sure that they're the first ones to get the patent on the various components of the technology.
Yeah. And you know,
I don't like it, but I can defend it.
I just feel like it's dangerous because, say like, you know, you do rely on this a lot for because you struggle and you need a bit of extra support of someone that you used to look up to, and they act in a way that they wouldn't normally act, and they give you advice that you wouldn't normally hear from that person. It could rock your world. It could really cause problems, you know, if you're not of sound mind. And it's like, I don't know, it malfunctions, and it's like it goes all Nicolas Cage and Face Off. Papa's got a brand new bag, like, you know. I just think it could cause problems. I don't know.
I don't think it's a great idea.
No.
Did you ever see Altered Carbon?
Yes, I did. Great. First season one was amazing. Season 2,
I love season 1. I gotta watch season 2. I love season 1, but man, that's for sure that whole idea of like having your disc kind of just implanted into another body. It's like,
yeah.
Like when I die, I just want to be dead. Don't bring me back.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So no Zombie David then?
No Zombie David.
This is Zombie David.
Cemetery. Yeah, I'm living on borrowed time. I was supposed to die when I was born, but here I am.
We love you, man. We love you. Right. Okay. So that's science of Alex dealt with. Just don't fuck with AI when it comes to dead people. Microsoft.
Yeah.
If you're listening to me, Alex says no.
No.
Yeah, it's a
people
no
have that
for me,
closure.
dog.
Yeah, it's a no
Yeah,
for me.
strong no for me as well.
In the comments, we haven't had any comments through. I think there's a problem with this feed, if I'm honest. StreamYard do that sometimes.
So maybe it wasn't my microphone.
No, it was
I think
definitely your microphone.
your microphone was definitely, but we've usually got comment coming through. So if you're trying to comment on my personal feed, make sure you come to the USUK feed or YouTube if you want to drop in comments. Please do. We're going to change things up now, and we're going to play the Gauntlet, which is our best show of the game, where we will find out all about our podcasting superstar. And we have 3 games for you to play, Moxie. We have the inanimate object round, the speed round, which is exactly as it sounds, and we have the what the fuck is that round. So the first round is going to be, we're going to give you an inanimate object to talk about for a full minute, non-stop. You tell us stories about it, you can talk about whatever you want, you tell people what it is. Then we'll give you 50 questions to answer in 2 minutes. It's impossible, but you can answer as many questions as you can in that allotted time. And then you have 10 objects to explain to David what they are, but without actually telling him what they are. So let's do the round 1 first. I'm going to give you an object. I'm going to stopwatch right here. And I'm going to give you 1 minute to tell us about this object. Are you okay with the rules?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? The timer's better than the stopwatch. Okay. Right. Here is your object, and you're going to talk about this for a full minute. I will start the clock when you start talking. Here.
Oh, one of those new Apple computers. Great. No, cheese grater. Not as handy as it seems like it should be. It is better if you do grate your own cheese, especially if you have anyone in the house who has food allergies or celiac, because shredded cheese has to have an anti-clumping agent, and that can have wheat protein in it, and it's often cellulose, which is just ground wood fiber. So yeah, grating it yourself is better, but well, your knuckles are coming off. The thing, you put pressure down on it, it falls over. Get a microplane grater for things like nutmeg, ginger, and garlic. Never peel your garlic, just grate it straight into whatever you're doing. For cheeses, just feed that brick of cheese right into your food processor. Don't muck about with the cheese grater, especially not those, if you are going to use the little star holes, which are good for grating ginger, first wrap the whole thing in saran wrap. And then you can just lift the saran wrap off and scrape the ginger right off of it. Because, yeah, those just tetanus waiting to happen is supposed to be for grating ginger. But if you don't put the plastic down, you're never getting the ginger back.
Nice. You went over. That was brilliant. Fantastic. Well done.
So, what gave you the impression I wasn't going to be able to talk nonstop?
I know.
Yeah.
What I do.
It's what we all do.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I was like, learning recipes, like, wait, hold on. What do I got to do with the ginger and the garlic? Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. Now this is going to be a real test of my skills right now, because I have to run the tech, the time, whilst typing in the numbers for the slides. Okay, so we have 50 questions. I need to find out how to get a full view on this.
I could write stuff down if you need to.
Or at least watch the time.
Everything is on my phone.
Yeah.
Okay, full screen mode. There we go. Can I still type in stuff on full screen mode? I think I can. No, I can't. Sorry, I'm trying to work this out. We'll just fuck it. We'll do it like this. Okay. Okay. We have 50 questions for you, Moxie, and you've got to ask as many as you can in 2 minutes. Okay. I'm going to share the screen right here.
Let's do it.
I have a number generator and a timer, so I'm going to start. This is hard. Okay. 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 This is hard because I have a number generator and a timer both on my phone. David, have you got like an analog watch you can just like watch for like 2 minutes?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I do. Here we go.
If you click on your clock in your taskbar, if you're on PC, I don't know if you're on Mac, then it'll show you the clock with the seconds on it.
Good thinking.
I get one of those a day. One good idea every day.
Ah, yes, you do.
There you
You're
go.
right.
Bob's your uncle.
Okay, right. Okay.
Great idea.
Sorry about this. I've usually got. So I've thrown David into the deep end and been like, "Oh, dude, join me on the show. It'll be lots of fun."
Come on the show, he said.
I'll be
Yeah.
It'll
Okay.
be fun, he said.
Right. The first question is number 26. Answer these questions. If you don't want to answer it, just pass.
Okay.
So here's number 26, and I'll start the time from when you start. My wife's just dropped me in a stopwatch. Bless her. On your marks, get set, go. Do you collect anything?
Cats, typically. I used to collect novelty cigarette lighters.
Nice. Number 12. Simpsons or Family Guy?
Simpsons through season 11, Family Guy through season 3. Otherwise, they're both garbage now.
Okay. Number 35 is the best board game ever.
It says one guilty music pleasure. I want to answer that one because that would be Annie's Song by John Denver. And best board game ever. My husband and I play Bananagrams every single night.
Nice. 36 is. Did I? Number 4.
It's the best board games ever.
Yeah. Number 4 is Marvel or DC?
Image.
Image. I like that. Number 49 is your favorite Muppet.
Oh, I can't pick just one. Gonzo.
Nice. I like Gonzo too. Number
I
8,
did Muppet Burlesque.
your favorite cheesy movie.
Favorite cheesy movie. Oh, Ravenous.
Ravenous.
Yeah.
Number 16 is what was your first concert? The first concert you
I've
went to?
never actually been to an outdoor concert.
No?
Nope. Don't even want to.
Okay. I'd love to know what your first one will be. A role model of yours.
Melissa Etheridge. Great personal strength.
Nice. Number 7, one guilty pleasure.
Nutella.
Nutella.
The whole jar,
Nice.
just straight.
Your favorite turtle.
Well, everybody usually says Michelangelo, but, Leonardo deserves some love, too.
Nice. 37, Kevin Smith. Best chocolate bar ever.
Whatchamacallit.
Is that a chocolate bar, is it?
It isn't actually. It's a Hershey's chocolate bar.
Nice. Boxers, briefs, or commando? Sorry.
I like looking at boxer briefs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Time.
Time.
Commando
Time.
means the laundry's worse to do.
Wow, that was really good. I'm really sorry about the setup of that. Usually I've got... My wife came in with she stood here like doing all the... Thank
No
you,
wonder
wife.
nobody can get more questions in the 2 minutes. Come on.
I know. That was good though. Well done.
I demand an extra minute.
All right.
You did really
One
good.
more.
We'd like to find out a lot about it, and when people listen back to this, they'll know more about you. Okay, our next round is I'm fucking dying here on this fucking show. The what the fuck is that round? So, David, we have 10 things that Moxie's going to describe to you without actually telling you what they are. You're not allowed to see the screen.
Okay.
Am I prohibited from saying anything other than just the
The
name of
actual
it?
object, right?
It's
You
like
can
the whole rest of the vocabulary is in play, but just not the name of the thing.
Yeah, you can just describe what they are. There we go. You have 10 questions. You have 2 minutes to do it. I can use my timer on this one, thank God. And I'm going to share the screen. David, hide your screen now. You have 10 pictures here to describe to what they are to David.
Glasses are off, so I can't see shit. You want my
Okay.
birthday.
Okay, the beer whose logo looks like a bow tie.
The what?
Color schemes red and white. Clydesdales.
Pass.
We'll go back to that.
A sitcom about a bunch of annoying 20-somethings in obnoxiously large apartments.
Friends.
Yep. The Shark movie.
Sharknado. The Meg.
The original.
Jaws.
Yep.
Jaws, yeah.
Not the Mets, the New York.
Jets.
What do you call someone? What do people in the South call people in the North?
Yankees.
There you go. Not C-3PO.
R2D2.
Yep, I can't make out the next picture. It's too tiny. After that, the guy who's really annoyed by SpongeBob all the time.
Squidward.
Okay, and then prepare for trouble and make it double.
Pokemon.
Who said that?
Jesse Team Rocket, Jesse and
Rocket.
James,
Yes.
Okay.
and Meowth.
I'm not sure I know that, even know that picture. Oh, okay. Ash with the chains. No. Sorry, wrong thing.
Evil Dead.
The main survival horror franchise. The main survival horror video game franchise.
Until Dawn.
Oh, a bunch of Mila Jovovich movies based on this video game franchise.
Oh fuck.
Right? We're not a gaming household anymore. Okay. The Prime Minister of Britain during World War II.
Winston Churchill.
And the last one here, can we get it before this? Got 13 seconds.
And before that was Neville Chamberlain. Fuck that guy. Sorry.
I'm not certain on who this person is.
Okay.
So I think I can maybe see the file name. The guy from the Black
There we
Eyed
go.
Peas, who's
Yeah, we got him.
Wyclef Jean.
No,
Will I Am. Okay, so that was Will I Am. I'm really sorry about that. I was trying to make it as visible as possible without fucking things up, but I fucked things up. So the survival franchise game movie was Resident Evil.
Oh.
I included the original artwork because who wouldn't, eh? You know, that's a blast from the past.
yeah,
isn't
and
it?
I don't know why my brain saw what is clearly a PlayStation cover art and said Army of Darkness. Thanks,
I
brain.
thought Army of Darkness too. I was like, fucking Ash.
Because that's what my
Roberts,
brain said.
Evil Dead.
Was not paying attention. And the beer company with the red color scheme and the bow tie logo
Was, of
and the
course,
Clydesdales.
Beer company. Yeah. So
A couple of good ones though. You got Team Rocket very quickly. Squidward, you got really quickly. R2, you got right. Jaws, you went for Sharknado first before Jaws. That was
I'm
funny.
honestly upset that you would fucking include something shark related to me.
Why?
You know I'm terrified of sharks.
Well, luckily this one can't get you.
Yeah.
I
Not for the
Really
computer
hope
anyway.
that's why I don't ever go into the ocean ever.
Wow. My ex co-host for Thor Skin was exactly the same. Wouldn't watch anything. You know when you play Far Cry and you go swimming in the sea? He wouldn't do that because there's sharks in the water.
I could do that. I could do that in a video game. I could watch a movie sometimes if I want to hurt myself, but most of the time I
I love that.
And that's quite a realistic fear to, it's a reasonable fear to have
Yeah.
since
Is
they
it-
can.
okay, so here's my fear though. Like I cannot touch a picture or like the cover of Jaws or any shark. Like I cannot physically touch a photograph of a shark with their mouth open in particular for fear of them coming to life and biting my hand off. That's a really stupid, irrational fear that I have.
Do you know
Well, that's when it gets over into phobia, is when it becomes irrational, because it's just really good self-preservation up until that point. And this may or may not comfort you, but here is a bonus fact. Sharks' teeth are not actually teeth. They're a modified form of scale. That's how they're able to continue to replenish them.
Wow.
If they were teeth, they'd only get the 1 or 2 sets.
I do know that sharks' mouths tend to work like a hand. When they have it closed, it's like this, but when they open it up, their teeth expand in a way, or scales when they expand in a way, and when they clamp down, they pull back a little.
Yeah, and they're angled
And they start to-
inward.
Wow. That's cool.
Yep.
Do you know what my phobia is?
Spider.
Of all spiders, I don't like. I'm wary of them, but I'm not like, oh my god. I'm like, oh fuck off. Like, rats, things like that. I'm okay with. If they jump, I'm kind of like, I don't like that. But I won't go and shiver into a corner. I will go and get a bucket and deal with it, right? But maggots, fucking
Maggots?
hate maggots, man. I can't stand. Oh,
That's fair.
Maggots are actually beneficial. I mean, to the human
I
body.
know, but like when I see maggots, I think of death. Like, you know.
That's why you're put off by it, because it's
Yeah.
not usually, a good sign. We have sugar gliders, which are like tiny little flying squirrels. They're very adorable. And we feed them mealworms, which are a form of larvae. So I can handle the dried ones. I can't handle the live ones. And I've done all manner of animal stuff because I used to raise goats and I did all the basic, day-to-day vet stuff with them, like cleaning their hooves and lancing abscesses and dealing with mastitis and stuff. But just picking up a little wriggly mealworm, it's not going to do it.
I've done maggots. I've been fishing before. I've done all that. That's fine. When there's like a few in a box, that's all. I don't know what it is. It's when they're like,
What kind of box is
You know,
What
fishing
kind of boxes do you have in your house that have a few maggots in the bottom?
No. When you go fishing, people get the maggots in the box, don't they? And they do that.
Okay.
Worm.
Yeah, worm box. No, they use maggots as well. Although you use different types of bait for different fish, don't you? So I mean, the bigger the fish, the bigger the bait you're going to use, I guess. But maggots are very popular. I know. I'm not a big fisher, but I have seen them used before. Okay. Moxie, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to give you a few minutes to talk to talk to us about your show and what it is you do. Absolutely. Take it away.
Well, one thing I do is I host a podcast, obviously, called Your Brain on Facts, your weekly half hour of things you never knew you never knew, which if you don't feel like listening to me, you can always just read it in book form. 2/3 of the Your Brain on Facts book are topics that have never and will never be on the podcast, no matter how desperate and behind schedule I get with my script. But also, if you don't want the facts, but you do want my voice, I am available for voiceover work. Contact at moxielabouche.com.
I want both.
Well, I'd be more than happy to sell you the book and have you subscribe to the podcast and hire me for VO.
If I buy the book direct from you, I want an autograph in it.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that. I mean, I did it before Christmas, though a lot of people still haven't gotten theirs because our postal system is just so royally fucked.
Wait, what part of the U.S. are you from?
I'm in Virginia.
Oh, okay. That's East Coast, yeah.
Oh. How long have you been podcasting for then, Moxie? When did you pick up the mic?
Coming up on 3 years. And I want to extend an invitation to you gentlemen and to any podcasters who may be listening and watching today. I'm gearing up for my 150th episode. And whereas the show is usually a long form topic, for 100 and now for every 50 increment, I do just little fast facts. If you've ever seen the Matthew Santoro YouTube channel, he does his 30 fascinating facts videos, just like that, just 1 or 2 sentences. But I'm going to need 50 podcasters to record a fact and send it in. You also get a little plug for your show in there, and I link you, everywhere the show goes and whatnot. So anybody, if they want to be involved in the 150th episode, can email yourbrainonfacts@gmail.com.
My brain on facts is all about like serial killers and how to hide a body and shit. It's not good.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to be completely honest here. I'm
a white woman and you're talking true crime. Obviously, that's right up my alley.
You and me both. Look, I ended up buying this book. Still reading it. Here's the actual cover sleeve for it, but
shame he was so vile when he was
The
so
Night Stalker.
hot.
Yeah, there's something on Netflix about this thing. There's a Netflix documentary, right? That's everybody's talking about.
Yeah, about the Night Stalker, and women are just creaming their jeans over him.
yeah, I told my girlfriend, I was like, look,
But no,
I'll
you
buy
could
it.
absolutely do some true crime or serial killer fact, or if you wanted to find the serial killer who got caught for the stupidest reason ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it can be anything, and it doesn't have to. It can be something that somehow ties into your podcast, or just something you thought was interesting.
I'm going to give you some Shrewsbury facts because I do the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast as well, which is the birthplace of Charles Darwin. We can do like the Shrewsbury cake was invented in such and such at such and such a time, and
Or you could talk about his determination to prove that whether or not inbreeding in humans would result in idiocy because he married a cousin.
Yeah, that was kind of like the thing of the time, there wasn't it? It was kind of like that wasn't really like a.
It was
problem.
more acceptable at the time to marry a first cousin. Second cousins have always been cool, and in I think like half the states of the U.S. you can marry a first cousin.
Yeah,
Just in case anybody had plans.
I can do loads on Charles Darwin. Marrying into the Wedgwood family. Everyone knows what Wedgwood is. It's that pale blue and white.
That he also ate one of every animal he discovered, and in fact, he and the Beagle's crew almost decimated the population of Galapagos tortoises because the tortoise is apparently the most marvelously sweet and buttery meat they ever experienced. Oh, and there was a dinner he was at where he realized that the bird they were eating was one he had been looking for. He'd been looking for a specimen, and he told everybody to quit eating, and he started grabbing everyone's plates so he could get as many bones back together of the bird.
What?
There are so many facts about Charles Darwin. I mean, there was a statue erected of his outside the library, which was when he was a boy, the Shrewsbury School, and a steeple for St Mary's Church fell through the roof on a stormy night, and the vicar was like, "Well, that's because you put that abomination up in front of the library, glorifying the Antichrist," or something. Yeah, because Charles Darwin was
That in and of itself could be the fact right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, right, okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Moxie. I'm very sorry it's been one of those topsy-turvy shows today. I've kind of really
That's
struggled.
live theater, man.
I'm really sorry about my whole headphones bit, Moxie.
Oh, that's
Forgive
fine.
me.
Technology. What are you gonna do?
And I've got to say, Moxie, I am super impressed with you. I love your voice. You are you are the you can't say female anymore, can you? But you are yeah.
Yes,
She's looking. You're the female version of Andy Imhoff. Andy Imhoff made that Science of Alex thing, and he's got that rich, sultry voice. Hi, I'm Andy Imhoff, and your voiceover voice and the way you sound is such a. Oh, I love that so much.
And yet NPR doesn't call. There's I'm trying to remember which I guested on another show. This is embarrassing because I was on there twice. So I can't remember what show it was. Again, I got struck by lightning, so I have some memory problems. But apparently their audience just loved listening to me swear in my NPR voice. I was thinking of making that one of my Fiverr gigs. Like, we'll say vile, nasty things in a soothing voice. You know.
Wait. If that's the case, say, fuck you, you fucking fuck.
Fuck you, you fucking fuck.
I love that.
Can you
Pussy
say one?
blood
Actually, I want to make a soundbite out of this.
Waffle.
While we have you here, I love that. While we have you here, Moxie, I want you to say, Jamie Westwood, you absolutely are a glorious ginger bastard.
Is that Westwood or West?
Jamie Westwood.
Jamie Westwood, you absolutely
You
are.
You absolutely are a what's you absolutely
An
are
absolutely
a glorious.
glorious ginger bastard.
Yes.
I'll try. Jamie Westwood, you absolutely are a glorious ginger bastard.
There you go. It's fact now.
How much
You
the
could have
worst?
There we go.
said in a sultry voice, so it's fact. That's it. It's been put in.
But Moxie said it, so it's got to be true.
Exactly. I'm going to call you for voiceover work. That's it now. Yeah.
I do podcast intros.
Yes. Cool. How can people get hold of you, Moxie?
Well, you can visit the website, yourbrainonfacts.com or moxielabouche.com for voiceover. On the social media, Facebook and Instagram is Your Brain on Facts, and Twitter is Brain on Facts Pod, because it was one character short of the name of the show.
Oh,
The name of the show was one character too long for freaking Twitter. So it's Brain on Facts Pod over at Twitter.
goddamn Twitter. I have the same as well with the Shrewsbury biscuit. It's Team SY biscuit because I can't put Shrewsbury biscuit. Yeah. Look, thank you so much for joining us on the show. You're welcome back anytime. I hope you've enjoyed the show. We've made do with what I piece this show together as I was going. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I know we've had a problem with the comments coming up now, and I know some of your comment. There's people messaging me now. Why don't you answer my? I'm really sorry. If you message on my personal feed, I'm not going to get the messages through. If you watch through the USUK actual channel, YouTube or our Twitch channel, and message that way, we will get them through. We have got a few things going on with USUK. We now have a brand new website, which I should have put on the feed here. But this is our website. It's usuknetwork.com, and that's made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. If you need a website, we're either side of the Atlantic. If you need a website, make sure you go to the Web Orchard, and they will sort you out with a glorious looking website like ours. Make sure you go and check it out. It looks fantastic. Moxie, thank you so much for... Yes, please. I was going to say, sell your stuff one more time before we get out.
No, I was the sponsor spot, actually.
Ah.
If you need a shiny new website, pick one at Web Orchard.
Oh, Pete, how was that, man? If you're watching the show, that was... I love
Pete,
that. Moxie.
call me. I need money too.
Right, okay. Well, I'm gonna dismiss you guys individually. It's kind of like what I like to do. David, your mic has been atrocious throughout this whole episode, but I love you either way.
Time?
Well, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, man. We've heard you. We can talk to you,
It's good.
and you sounded clear. But David, I love you,
I've heard
man. It
worse.
makes up for it. Yeah, I love it. I've had worse.
Yeah. Sorry,
have you got-
the whole voice and face is terrible. I'm sorry, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
You're beautiful. Nice. Moxie, have you got any last words before I kick you out?
Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice.
Guys, this has been a terrible show, but I've had so much fun either way. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you join us on Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Live with us USUKers. This has been fantastic. Make sure you check out the website, usuknetwork.com, and we will catch you next week. Thank you.